Noligent here. In this episode, we're going to be at the Pearl River Blueberry Farm, picking some blueberries. Welcome to Noligent. Let the good times roll. The Pearl River Blueberry Farm is about an hour and a half outside of New Orleans in Lumberton, Mississippi. Once you get off the interstate, it becomes a really scenic drive. And also, I got really lucky that it was a fantastically beautiful day right here at the very end of May, and we are in peak blueberry season. So, fantastic weather, a fantastic drive out in the relaxing countryside, and it's just a really great time to be going on a little adventure with a little culinary treat involved as well, because I do love some blueberries. I've been going to blueberry picking places since I was a little tiny kid, and I am a big fan of going to pick my own blueberries. It's just hard for me to put more in my bucket than in my belly, because I do have a slight addiction problem with blueberries, you could say. We are still, however, in the midst of the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, so we have gone to lessened restrictions, so the blueberry farm finally has opened up due to that. They do, however, still have some social distancing requirements and some other requests that we will do our best to comply with. Now we have turned off onto the little country road that leads to the blueberry farm, and it becomes even more beautiful than we were on the road before. And it's just such a really nice drive out here. Every time I've been out here, I've had such a great time. They take really great care of you. Now, unfortunately, with the COVID-19 situation, they're not allowing people into their house as they usually do. They frequently also would have had desserts and all sorts of other items that they have cooked and made with their blueberries. They're so generous and wonderful when they host you out here. They typically have an annual music festival, and last year the blueberry crop was destroyed in a storm. So we didn't get to go last year, but I'm excited to be back this year. And with the COVID-19 restrictions being lifted a little bit, I'm so grateful that I get to go now. Now here we are turning into the farm, and look and see how beautiful this place is. So, with even our pre-scheduled time slot, there are quite a few people here, so we will go see what is going on with everything that we need to do and to get our blueberry picking started. So they have everything very neatly lined out, showing you where you can park when you first pull up. And then a look back on the farm driveway that goes right into the little tiny country road that we drove down into to get here. So let's look around. Now, if you notice, there's a bottle tree right there. They have multiple bottle trees on the property. And then as you look around and just see how beautiful this area is, they just really have gone out of their way to make this such a comfortable environment. So now, if you didn't know what a bottle tree is, it's simply a tree with bottles hanging down from it, or an artificial tree with the bottles on it that traces its roots back to Africa, and they exist in the deep south for the most part, and the bottles are seen to reflect sunlight off and attract evil spirits in, and trap them inside the bottles, which will protect the home. So that's kind of the story and tradition of the bottle trees here. And a lot of people do it just because it's a fun art project that you can do with your empty wine bottles. And as you look around the property, just notice how many swings they have everywhere. They've got so many beautiful, comfortable spots just to sit down and enjoy yourself and take in this beautiful view that they've created here. There are also some really beautiful larger trees out here that just completely add to a wonderful ambience and give some much needed shade as well sometimes. So if you get lucky and can park under the tree, that does keep things a little cooler inside your vehicle later. So definitely they have done a great landscaping out here. This is a magnolia tree you see with a little chair you can sit under right there and look out down into the blueberry fields past the heart right there. There was only one magnolia flower blooming at the time, And then if you notice this heart right here, it's made out of flowers. So they planted flowers in the shape of a heart. So it's really beautiful when it's in full bloom. It was only partially blooming right there, but they definitely have planted flowers throughout this area, along with creating some beautiful bottle trees. This certainly is a working farm though, so as we walk up, there's the welcome stand for the blueberry check-in. So you come to this spot and check in, and here is where they will issue you your equipment. But first they wanted you to go wash your hands to make sure that the COVID-19 would not be spreading. So for health and safety, they wanted us all to make sure we give it a good hand washing. And remember, the blueberries are good for you too. Now here's what they outfit you with. You get a bucket and a strap to carry your bucket around, so it's a lot more comfortable that way. Now, before we go pick the blueberries, if we look out and you see all of those shrubs out here right past the heart, those are all the blueberry bushes. So it's a huge area of blueberries that we're going to be walking into and harvest ourselves some blueberries. We get to enjoy some beautiful flowers on our walk out to the blueberry bushes, and it really is wonderful that they've gone to such trouble to make it such a beautiful environment. And it's a farm that has chickens too, so you will probably get to see the chickens in action, and they really do contribute to the farm. They eat the insects that can be harmful to the plants and the humans. There's some sunflowers right there. And you can see some blueberry pickers out there too. They really do go to a lot of trouble with everything they do here. They take fantastic care of their blueberry plants here. They really individually treat each individual variety in its own way that it needs. This area usually has a lot more people hanging out in front of it during non-COVID-19 times. And then we walk past the flowers, and then we're arriving at the first of the blueberry bushes here, and they've built a nice little entrance here for us to go through. And then there's different varieties of blueberry on each row, so they're color coded, and then they have the names of the blueberry varietal that they are. They all are slightly different sizes, a little bit different taste. They kind of come into full blossom and full fruit at a little bit different times. So depending when you get here, you can have completely different varieties available. So you'll have some that are like towards the end of their cycle of producing fruit, and some that are just coming into the beginning of their fruit cycle. So it's always interesting to see what sort of selection you end up with. But they're usually going to be delicious in my experience. I've always had fantastic blueberries from here, and I like to get a variety of them. So here is one type. It looked like the tiffle there. So there's a few ripe, a lot more that are just coming into ripeness right there. Still lots of reddish berries, and then a few blueberries in here that are ready to be picked. The dark blue ones are the ones that are typically going to be the ripest. And as you can see, there are a lot of berries out here. So these blueberry bushes are full of fruit as far as you can see, almost down each row. And just looking around at how many bushes there are down the row that goes down so far. Okay, so it's time for you to see me in action and see what an expert blueberry picker I am. So here's a perfectly ripe and ready to go one. But of course it's going in my mouth first. You need to taste test before you decide to pick a lot off a tree. So you want to see what the flavor is. Get a feeling for the terroir and the general flavor of the ripe fruit on each bush. So you want to judge size, appearance, coloration, the firmness of the texture, and flavor, of course, being all important. And with a combination of eating some fruit and picking some fruit for your bucket, you can quickly get a good bucket full, and multiple bucketfuls are as well possible in your time frame that you're allowed. Well, it's been a successful blueberry harvest today. I've got my big bucket of delicious blueberries of multiple varieties, so I probably have an equal amount in my belly. So when you get a full belly of blueberries and a full bucket of blueberries, you can go pick another bucket if you've got time. And whenever you get the amount that you want, you go to the checkout here. So they take cash and they also do Venmo. So it's $11 a gallon. The bucket is roughly a gallon. So you have an honor system where you put your money into a little bucket there. You will need to bring your own containers to put your blueberries in. Ziploc bags are not recommended to be used if you're going to close them. So you're going to need some kind of a box. So you can use Ziploc bags, but make sure that you put them inside of a box or other container that's not sealed, because as the blueberries cool down, they're going to be letting heat out and they will explode if you don't pack them correctly. So here in the picture, I demonstrate one method to correctly pack them for travel so that you don't end up with a lot of exploded blueberries. For my past visits to the blueberry farm, there have always been a lot of people just hanging out in this area, enjoying themselves, along with our hosts serving a lot of fantastic blueberry desserts and other treats. So I hope to have that enjoyment again sooner than later once all of this COVID-19 pandemic is over. So heading back to New Orleans, it's a beautiful sunset happening and another beautiful, enjoyable drive on our way back to the interstate. A fantastic experience with a great bunch of people that run a fantastic blueberry farm. I've been to many berry picking places, and by far, this is my all-time favorite. So thanks a lot to all of the folks that make the Pearl River Bluesberry Farm what it is. If you would like to follow me on Yelp, I have thousands of pictures and reviews on there. You can also follow me on Instagram for more photos. And please like this video and subscribe to the NOLA Junk channel. We would also love it if you would help us out on Patreon and help the channel continue to have more content produced. Thank you very much.